You and everybody you know are probably wearing 4 aglets. What's an aglet? You'll find out as one of these 3 contestants wins the chance to drive home in this brand new Pontiac Fiero GT in just a split second. And now, here's the star of our show, Monty Hall.
Hi, thank you very much, and I welcome you all to our show. We always start off with a little bit of information. Somebody said to me, what's an aglet? I said it's a small egg. But it's not an egglet, it's an aglet. An aglet is that little plastic or metal tip at the end of your shoelaces. That's why you're wearing 4 of them. You know, 2 shoelaces each shoe. That's not no joke. That's it. You wear 4, unless you're a centipede, in which case you'd wear 200 of them. But that's why centipedes don't wear shoes. They couldn't afford that. However, this is split second, and you get to learn an awful lot about things and general information and knowledge on our show as our contestants compete to win cash and a brand new car. Let's meet our player, Sandy Hoyt.
Okay, Monty, first we have our returning champion, our doctor who specializes in preventive medicine, Marv Zelsman. And then a lady horseback rider who's being taught to jump by the horse, Cindy Cook. And on your right, a modern lady whose other world is centered around medieval days. Meet Laura Hunter.
Welcome back to our show, Doctor. You're a 2-time champion, and you've been accumulating some money. And, of course, if you win today, you'll add more money and improve your chance of winning the car, because every day we remove one of the screens where the car is hidden.
Great.
And so we've had a chance to talk to Marv. He likes to work in... we didn't talk much about the acupuncture. We did talk about the other part of your career,
right.
the nutrition part. For just a moment, how do you blend modern medicine with the ancient Chinese torture test of acupuncture?
Quite honestly, there isn't much of a blend. You have to forget a lot about traditional Western medicine and think more along Eastern philosophical lines.
Does that go for the patient, too? Does the patient have to put himself in the mind?
No.
Into that frame of mind?
No, just me.
Just you. So you say, I am now going to revert and I'm going to do ancient
That's right.
Chinese acupuncture.
That's right.
And the patient just lies there and says, I hope he knows what he's doing.
And hopefully an hour later they won't need another treatment.
That's right. So if they do, just get them some wonton, right?
There you go.
All right. Cindy, what is it about you? Jumping horses where the horse teaches you?
Well, he knows how to jump. I'm just learning.
Do you have your own horse?
Yes, I do.
So you work as a team. You have to know it's the rider and the horse working as one.
He likes to jump. I haven't got a clue how to jump, and I'm making a deal with Merv about this acupuncture later. So.
Well, you just hang on, and the horse says, listen, just leave it to me. You just hang on for dear life.
Well, he has this affinity for logs and fences and things, and I just hold on real tight and close my eyes.
Running into them or over them?
Over them.
Oh,
but he leaves me behind, usually.
That's where the acupuncture comes in. Right, Laura, we're going to get to meet you and find out something about this medieval history that you're interested in. But first, let's get right into our game, and let me explain it to the people at home. Split second is played this way. Each question comes with 3 answers, and you're only entitled, or all we demand of you is to come up with 1 answer each in this first round and in the second round. And when you do, you each get some money. If all 3 of you score, you get $10 apiece. If 2 of you score, you get $25 apiece. If only 1 of you scores, you get $50 in this first round. Buzz in. The first one, buzz in, goes first, but if you buzz in before you see the entire question, you'll be locked out. We'll start off with food, one of my favorite subjects. What do we do every day? We eat. And what do we eat? We eat chemicals. Isn't that right, Doctor?
You bet.
Only we call them by their popular names. So here are 3 chemicals that are eaten every day. Pick one and give me its popular name. Look at the screen. There's the dilute of acetic acid, there's sodium chloride, and there's the crystalline carbohydrate. Cindy?
Sodium chloride is salt.
That's correct. Laura?
Acetic acid is sugar.
No, I'm sorry. Marv?
Crystalline carbohydrate is sugar.
That's right, and the acetic acid is vinegar. And so we have Marv and Cindy scoring, getting $25 each. When you have brains and beauty and you're a star on a primetime soap opera, why not capitalize on your fame and write a book? I'll name 3 actresses who did just that. Pick a book. Name the Dallas or Dynasty star who wrote it. Past Imperfect, The Body Principle, and Elvis and Me. Cindy?
The body principle is Victoria Principle.
Victoria Principle. Marv?
Elvis and Me, Priscilla Presley.
Right. And who wrote Past Imperfect? Joan?
Joan Collins.
That's right. Her name's Laura, I should have said. Joan Collins is the one. But you knew the answer anyhow. Was that interesting? That's the first time I've ever done that. I said, and who wrote that book? Joan and Laura. Without even listening, we said Joan Collins. Did you know it anyhow?
No. Thank you.
Let me put it this way, Marvin, Cindy, I owe you one. All right. During World War II, the major leaders of the Allies held major strategy conferences in the following 3 cities. Pick one and name the country it's in. Look at the screen. Tehran, Yalta, and Potsdam. Cindy, I got the name right.
Great. Tehran is in Iran.
Correct. Marv?
Yalta's in Yugoslavia.
No, sorry. Laura?
Oh, no, I don't remember.
Yalta is in USSR and Potsdam is in East Germany. And so Cindy scores all by herself, gets $50. Now, this is a very interesting question. We use colors to describe many things from our emotions to our troubles. I'll give you definitions of 3 popular expressions that include a color. Pick one and give me the colorful expression it defines. Look at the screen. Look at it carefully. Excessive official proceedings. Person of a noble birth, a financial burden, or a useless object. Cindy.
Person of a noble birth is blue blood.
Blue blood. Person of a noble birth is blue blood. That is correct. Laura?
Excessive official proceedings is red tape.
Good for you. And Marv?
A financial burden is in the red.
No, it's a financial burden or a useless object is a white elephant. And so Cindy and Laura score and they get $25 each. In the 1970s and 80s, women gymnasts won world fame when they set new records in the Olympics. Here's information about 3 women gymnast record makers. Pick one and name her. Look at the screen. Romanian, Russian, and American. Marv?
The Romanian was Nadia Comaneci.
That's right. Laura?
The American was Mary Lou Retton.
And who was the Russian who won 3 gold medals?
Olga
Cindy?
Korbut.
Good for you. All 3 of you knew your gymnasts. And you get $10 each. At this point, Cindy's in the lead. The other 2 are tied for second. Certain types of hats go with certain activities and professions. I'll give you an event or a job. You give me the name of the hat that traditionally goes with it. Look at the screen. The flat hat, the big hat by Mexican cowboys, and the tall white hat. And Laura, you're in first.
The big hat worn by Mexican cowboys is a sombrero.
The sombrero is right. Cindy?
Tall white hat worn by French chefs. I don't know.
You
Sorry.
don't know. Marv, do you know either of them?
Flat hat worn by graduating students is a board.
Mortarboard. Mortarboard. And the tall white hat worn by the French chefs is a toque.
Oh.
Right. And so, Laura, you get it all by yourself. $50 worth. And you move into second place. If you wanted to take a trip to a specific country, you might prefer to fly that country's very own airline. So here are 3 nationally owned airlines. Pick one. Tell me the country that owns it. There they are. Iberia, Aeroflot, and Sabina. Marv, you're in first.
Aeroflot is Russia.
Right. Laura?
Sabina is Israel.
Wrong.
Oh.
Cindy?
Iberia is Spain.
Right. And Sabina is Belgium. So Marv and Cindy get $25 apiece. And at the end of the first round, let's take a look at the score. Cindy's in first place with 145. Laura has 95. Marv, our champion, trails with 70. We'll be right back and we'll double the stakes in round 2. Well, Joan, here we are, right? Actually, this is Laura. We're going to find out something about Laura. And at the beginning, you said something about medieval history. Is that your little special study?
Yeah, well, I'm working on my degree in medieval studies.
Yeah. What century would that be?
From about from 1000 to 1500.
The 500 years.
Yes.
You know, I always had in mind that it was more like the 12th and 13th century.
Well, the 12th to 13th century is the sort of the high point of all the architecture and the learning. And
do you have a favorite character in history from those years?
I have several. The more I do, the more I have. But right now I'm studying Geoffrey Chaucer's works, and I find that his characters in his Canterbury Tales are just marvelous.
Let me see if I can remember that. When that April with his shower suit.
I'm impressed.
The trots of March
That's wonderful.
Yes, isn't that something?
Yes.
Now, folks, it's easy for me because I lived in those days.
I can't do that yet. I'm still learning it.
Oh, well, you see, you never know, do you? All right, Laura, thank you for being with us. And Cindy and Marvin, here, let's go into round number 2. And this time, we'll double the stakes. So that if all 3 of you are right with your answers, you'll get $20 each. If 2 of you do it, it's $50. And if one of you does it alone, it's $100. And you could take over the lead. It could jump back and forth here with our 3 players. Here we go. If you're going traveling, you should know how to say hello in whatever country you visit. So tell me, in what country do they say hello like this? Look at the screen. Moshi Moshi, Shalom Pronto, and Marv.
Shalom is Hebrew.
And then what country would they say it?
Oh, in Israel.
Right. Cindy?
Pronto is Spain?
No. Sorry, Laura?
Pronto is Italy.
Italy, yes. And Moshi Moshi is in Japan. So Marv and Laura get $50 each and gain on our leader. We have a tie for first now. I'm going to give you part of the title of 3 plays by Shakespeare. You finish the title and you'll name the city where the play takes place. Look at the screen. Othello the Moor and the 2 gentlemen of and the Merry Wives of Marv.
2 Gentlemen of Verona.
Correct. Cindy.
The Merry Wives of Windsor.
Right. And Laura?
The Moor of...
Othello is the Moor of Venice. And Marv and Cindy get $50 each. And now Cindy is back in the lead. Marv is second and Laura is third. See the way the lead jumps back and forth? A choice gift for Milady is a classic perfume. I'm going to give you the names of 3 famous perfumes. Pick one. Tell me the name of the perfume house that makes it. Look at the screen. Arpège, Miss Dior, and Joy. Laura?
Arpège is by Lanvin.
Arpège by Lanvin. Marv?
Miss Dior, Christian Dior.
Right. And Cindy?
Joy, I don't know.
You don't know, you don't wear Joy,
No,
right?
I don't.
Jean Petou?
Ah, yes.
Oh, yes. Oh, and so you don't get any points for that, and Marv and Laura do, and so now they've gained on the champion, and Marv is now in first place. Some of the biggest real estate deals in North America are in our history books. I'll describe 3 of those deals. You name the territory involved. Look at the screen. 3 very famous real estate deals. Marv?
The $24 was Manhattan.
Yes. Somebody from Holland bought it for $24. He got robbed. Laura?
Bought from Russia was Alaska.
That's right. And the purchase by the U.S. from France for $15 million, Cindy?
I think that was Louisiana.
That is correct. The Louisiana purchase, all 3 of you correct. All 3 of you score $20. Several #1 hit records name well-known American cities in their titles. I'll give you 3 such songs. Pick one and name the American city that's missing. Look at the screen. You people at home, look at the screen. Fill in the missing word. The first is Marv.
The Battle of New Orleans.
Battle of New Orleans. Laura.
Tennessee, no.
Can't do it. Cindy?
Philadelphia Freedom.
Philadelphia Freedom and the night Chicago died. Marv and Cindy, $50 each. Marv has the lead, $290. Cindy, $265. Laura, $215. Listen carefully. If your clock stopped at the times I'm going to show you and you wanted to reset the hands to 12 o'clock, would it be quicker to move the hands clockwise or counterclockwise? Look at the screen. At 5 o'clock, which way would you move the hands to get back to 12? And 7 o'clock and 3 o'clock. Cindy?
7 o'clock, you'd move clockwise.
Correct. Marv?
3 o'clock counterclockwise.
And at 5 o'clock, Laura?
Counterclockwise.
Right. All 3 of you right. All 3 of you get $20. I'll give you the titles of 3 songs that we've all been singing for years. Each title names a city or town. Pick one. Tell me in what country you'll find the place in the song title. Here they are. On the road to Mandalay, It's a Long Way to Tipperary, and Mademoiselle from Armentières. Cindy?
Long Way to Tipperary is Ireland.
That is correct. Marv?
Mademoiselle from Armentières is France.
That's right. And on the road to Mandalay, what country, Laura?
Malaysia?
No, close, close. Burma was the one, actually. And so Marv and Cindy get $50 each. Now, America's great jazz musicians are known all over the world, and a number of them are known best by their interesting nicknames. Here are 3 jazz greats. Pick one. Give me his famous nickname. Look at the screen. Antoine Domino, Louis Armstrong, and Julian Adderley. The nicknames is what I want. Cindy?
Louis Armstrong, Satchmo.
Satchmo. Marv?
Julian Adderley is Fats.
Oh, Laura?
Anton Domino is Fats.
That's right. Antoine Domino was Fats Domino, and Cannonball Adderley was the 3rd one. Cindy and Laura gain on the leader, and now look at the score. Cindy has taken over first place to Marv, and Laura's not too far behind. Nursery rhyme characters. Nursery rhyme characters are often involved with food. So tell me what these 3 nursery rhyme folks were eating. Look at the screen. What was Little Miss Muffet eating? Peter eating, and Little Jack Horner. Cindy?
Peter, Pumpkin Eater.
That's he's eating pumpkin. Laura?
Miss Way. Miss Muffet.
Yeah, that was part of what she was eating. That's good enough for me. She was also eating curds and Little Jack Horner was eating
a pie.
A Christmas pie. All 3 of you right. And now let's go to history. During World War II, some countries were allied on our side, others were part of the Axis powers, and some were neutral. Here are 3 nations. Tell me, allied, Axis, or neutral? Look at the screen. And Laura, you're in first.
Ireland was neutral.
Ireland was neutral. Correct. Marv?
Hungary was the Axis.
That is right. And China, Cindy?
The 3rd one, Allied.
Allied, yes, that's right. And all 3 of you right, and all 3 of you score on that one. Some of the biggest TV shows of the past included initials as part of their title. I'll give you 3 of those shows without the initials. Pick one and finish the title with the initials. Look at the screen. They all end in initials. And pick one. Marv?
The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
U-N-C-L-E.
Right.
Cindy?
Gomer Pyle P.I. Or...
No. That's pretty good for the Philippine Islands, though. Laura?
It's Mayberry RFD.
Mayberry RFD, and Gomer Pyle was the U.S. Marine Corps, USMC. Marvin, Laura score on that last one, so let's see how we ended at the end of the second round in this very close race. Marvin is first with 450, Cindy with 425, Laura 375, and of course the more money you have determines your position in the countdown round coming up right after this.
News.
Well, if the first 2 games are an indication of what's to come, we're going to have a terrific countdown round right now, because this is the one that determines who goes for the car. Questions are the same as before. This time when you buzz in, you can answer 1, 2, or all 3 parts of the answer. And every time you have a right answer, you count down 1. The first to 0 will win. Now, how many questions do you have to answer? That's determined by how much money you won so far in the round. Marv, you had the most money. You only have to answer 4. Cindy was in second place. She has to answer 5 questions. Laura has to answer 6 to win the game. But because you can answer 3 at one time, you could come from behind, as has happened on this show. And, of course, the winner goes to try and win the brand new car. Get ready. Here we go with the famous countdown round. The American Heritage Dictionary defines a sea as a tract of water within an ocean. Well, here are 3 seas. Tell me in what oceans they're located. Look at the screen. The Coral Sea, the Barents Sea, and the Sargasso Sea. And Laura, you're in first.
The Sargasso Sea is in the Atlantic.
That's right. You may continue.
The Barents Sea is in the Arctic.
That's right. Again.
And the Coral Sea is in the Indian Ocean.
No, that's not right. Marv, you're next.
Coral Sea is in the Pacific.
That's right. Then you get 1 point. Laura gets 2. And now Marv has to answer 3 to win. He can do it all in 1 question. Laura's moved into second place, needing only 4. Cindy still needs 5. The Star-Spangled Banner is a stirring national anthem with a fascinating history. So answer these questions about the Star-Spangled Banner. Look at the screen. Who wrote it? During which war was it written? And written while the flag flew over which fort? Marv.
Written by Francis Scott Keyes.
Right. You're down to 2. Continue.
The flag.
I'm sorry, not fast enough. Laura.
The Revolutionary War.
That is not right. Cindy.
The Civil War.
No, and that's not right. The War of 1812, and the fort you had on the tip of your tongue, Marv, is Fort McHenry. And so Marv still needs 2. Laura needs 4. Cindy needs 5. As the royal heads of state grow older, their sons who will succeed them to the throne are more and more in the news. So here are 3 princes, and these princes are the heirs to the thrones of their nations. Pick a prince, name his country. Take a look at the screen. Marv, you're in first.
Prince Charles is the United Kingdom.
That's right. 1 more, and you got another championship.
Prince Albert is Monaco.
That's right, Dan, you are a winner. The third one was Prince Akihito, and that was Japan. And so Marv has won his 3rd championship, and will be going for that car once again in a few moments. Cindy, we give you $425, which will provide oats for your horse. What is your horse's name?
Tin Man. Tin Man.
Tin Man, right out of The Wizard of Oz, right? And so you are the kind of the scared, cowardly lion who's afraid to get on that horse, right?
Yes.
Buy a lot of oats. Have a lot of fun.
Much.
Thank you for being with us. Laura, you have $375, and you keep studying your medieval history. It's a fascinating subject, and I wish you a lot of luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you to those 2. And now Marv and I are taking the long walk right up here to the car to see whether he can win it today.
We're deep.
All right, Marv, there's the lovely automobile you're trying for. Sandy, a description, please.
Well, Monty and Marv, that's the sporty Pontiac Fiero GT, equipped with all of Fiero's standard features like the fuel-injected V6 engine, cruise control, and AM/FM stereo cassette player, plus pop-off sunroof and air conditioning.
Well, Marv, this is your 3rd victory on the show, and that means that we're going to black out 2 of the screens that you have previously selected and improve your odds measurably. Now, so far, you chose screens number
2 and number 4.
All right, so what we do is we black out 2 and 4. They're out of contention. There are only 3 screens left, 1, 3, and 5. Your selection, the car is behind one of them, I promise you.
Let's try number 1.
He's trying number 1. Is it behind number 1 today? The music sounds, the screen turns around, and behind number 1 we have $1,000. $1,000. Where was it? It had to be behind 3 or 5, and it was behind number 3 this time, and that's the place we hit it. Well, if you should come back on our next program and win again and be a 4-time winner, we'll black out 3 of the screens, and it'll just be down to 2. Your choice, 50-50. You have to win the next match against 2 other contestants to do it.
We'll try.
All right. So our doctor will come back to try for his, let me see, his 4th win on our next program, and we want you to come back and join us at that time. Counting up the money you've won so far with, let me see, you won $29.50, you won $4.50 in the game today, and $1,000 behind the screen. You're up to $4,400 in cash. Not bad at all. So we look forward to seeing you meet 2 new contestants on our next show, and we look forward to seeing all of you people right back here when we play another edition of Split Second. Marty Hall saying bye-bye, everybody, and thank you so much.
Split Second is a Stephen Haydas Monty Hall production.